Are you tuned in to the extraterrestrials? Let me break that down to you. No, listen to it. Extra, meaning forces, powers beyond the earth. Terrestrials is relating to the earth. So when you say you believe in God or Jesus, you know, in the essence, in the form of a man, right? And you ain't got no hair follicles, no DNA, no facts, or no proof to back up that even any of these deities existed. That Jesus or the God in the form of a man even existed. So without that logical facts and information and DNA, hair follicles or something, address or something, well, more than an address, you're going to need more than Jesus' address and God's address, but you're going to need some logical facts, you're going to need DNA, hair follicles. And for me, you're going to have to bring God in the physical to me, or Jesus in the physical to me, to show me that either these deities existed that you pray to. But what I'm saying is, what you're really relating to, like when you take time to tap into these resources and you're willing to learn more even outside of the Bible, because a lot of you are indoctrinated and been taught in churches like, you know, to do research outside the Bible is a sin. You're not to do research outside the Bible. So what that does is it caps your memory, your knowledge. It puts a cap on your knowledge. Your pastor puts a cap on your knowledge. Your church, your institution puts a cap on your knowledge. You know what I mean? And you'll never grow like that. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, planting a seed and not watering it to grow to its, you know, so it could grow and nurturing that seed. That's just like your mind. You gotta plant seeds in your mind, and the way you water and nurture your mind is knowledge of facts. You know what I mean? And applying this knowledge of facts. So that's how you grow. So the extraterrestrials, and I'm not saying in a spooky way, when we're dealing with things like the earth, how the earth came about, and the stars, the moon, and the rain, I really think the extraterrestrials form these elements that exist today. And when I say extraterrestrials, I'm dealing with nature in itself. See, if you check out nature in itself, everything has a season. Like where I am in Bermuda, you have seasons for loquats. You know what I mean? Those are the seasons due to nature, the extraterrestrials, nature. You have cherry season, the extraterrestrials, nature. You know what I mean? You have rain falling, that's nature. You have the sun, that's all nature. You know what I mean? Everything that basically exists on this planet Earth is nature. Even how we came about as human beings, as black human beings anyway, you know, we are the indigenous people of the earth. And, you know, so we are the original men. And whites were formed out of black people. See, we gave birth to civilization. So we have to tap into these resources, like, and tune into nature. Because the reality is nature is every day, it exists in front of us, you know what I mean? 1 minute the sun could be out like it's partly sunny now, it's partly cloudy now. Then next thing there could be thunderstorms, or rain showers, or you might get snow in your part of the world. And you might say, how come it's snowing this season? This is not snow season, it's nature, you know what I mean? Pretty much, like, you know, you pretty much can't tell nature what to do. Although the Americans, you know, they have a high altitude aerial research program where they manipulate the weather. You know what I mean? They sent an earthquake to Haiti, was supposed to hit somewhere else, and I can't remember where exactly, but that was done and planted by the Americans through that high altitude aerial research program. But yes, overall nature has its in mind, but you do have chemical, you have tools and elements and biological and chemical and warfare and things that people use in America to manipulate the weather and cause earthquakes and all that. But overall nature has its in mind, so we're dealing with nature and every day and living. So us as black people, we have to realize that, you know, and a lot of us like to deal with God in the form of a spookism, like, you know, lightning strikes somebody, you know, you might say that's God striking, you know, using lightning to strike somebody, when in fact that's nature. See what I'm saying? So when you say God slamming and punching the earth, when you hear thunder and lightning comes down and strikes, or it strikes somebody with lightning, saying that's God, when in reality, you know, you're using forms of spookisms. When in reality, if you say the extraterrestrials, it's not a spookism, because the extraterrestrials are retaining to extra, terrestrials, astral beyond the earth, terrestrials earth. So you're dealing with nature and powers that are unexplainable, or you might say higher powers like extraterrestrials. you know, but God in the essence of all men, there ain't no logical facts to exist that show that. That's what I'm saying. This is to ask you, are you tuned into the extraterrestrials? And you don't want to be 100% focused and zoomed in on the extraterrestrials and other aspects of the culture that you could be learning on a daily basis. In the African culture, let me be specific, African culture. Learn about yourself, knowledge of self. Application of knowledge, because a lot of us black people are asleep right now. Religiously sleep, spiritually sleep, mentally sleep, economic sleep, politically sleep. There's all forms of sleep going on, and a lot of us can't wake up. Some of us might not wake up. In fact, I think the masses of black people might not wake up. It's going to be few of us that are awakened, and we're not got time to wait for the entire black race to awaken when they want to remain asleep. So some of you in the coma, and I listen to some of my black brothers and sisters. Well, I wouldn't even say some of my black brothers and sisters, because not everybody black is a brother or sister, and I'm gonna tell you why. They don't align themselves with Afrocentric culture. They align themselves with Eurocentric culture. So they have different concepts, and they go against my very will and fight against the struggle and the overall enhancement and improvement and the liberation of the black race. So that them kinds of black people that work in the interest of the Europeans and causing harm to the blacks, there's blacks that call Uncle Toms, hunk house niggas. There's ain't brothers, there's enemies, because they're representing the best interests of the Europeans and trying to oppress the people. And you find black people doing different things for money, selling the race out for money, compromising integrity for money. You never do that. But anyway, I don't want to get too far off my subject point, the extraterrestrials. Are you tuned into the extraterrestrials? I broke it down to the extra beyond the earth, power and forces beyond the earth, terrestrial, to do with the earth. So my black brothers and sisters, my name is JamalHassel@hotmail.com. My channel is Jamal Hassel. My blog is jamalhassel.wordpress.com. Nice talking to you. Blessings, prosperity to you.